Good afternoon and welcome back to Girded with Truth. Thank you so much for joining us this week as we begin a brand new series called Chosen to Conquer. If we go to the account with David and Goliath, David did not decide to go and conquer, but he was chosen. David was anointed before this very account. So God chose him, but he did not know the battle he had to face until he was in it, until he was faced with it. But God chose him to conquer, and you have been chosen to conquer something. David was chosen to conquer Goliath. You have a Goliath in your life that you have been chosen to conquer, but in order to conquer, you need to be in it all. And today we're speaking about here for it all. In the account of David, we're reading from 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 37 to 40, and it says, David said, Moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him. And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand. And he drew near to the Philistine. So this is God bringing David to the battle. God anointed David for this. He chose him for this. And now he has reached to the place where he have to conquer. He conquered the lion and he conquered the bear. But David could not back down from this Goliath because he had been chosen for this assignment. And as he was chosen, he had to be there for it all. And the King Saul, tried to put armor upon David. But how many of you know when you are faced with a battle, you cannot use unfamiliar weapons because you have not been trained with these weapons, but you have to use weapons that you have tested, that has been proven, that has withstood the test of time and the test against your enemy. You have to use weapons that you know how to handle. And David in this account said, I cannot use your weapons, I cannot use your armor, for I have not proved them. I do not know how they will work. I have not used them. So therefore, I cannot go into battle with it. But guess what? David had exactly what he needed. And he had the slingshot in his hand, and he gathered his stones once again. The same stones that he would use to take out the lion and to take out the bear is the same stones he would use to take out this Goliath. David used weapons that was familiar to him because he knew he could not go into battle with unfamiliar weapons. He needed something that was proven, that withstood the test of time, that withstood his enemies, because he needed to be able to fight Goliath from a place of victory. And if we go to 1 Samuel chapter 17 verses 45 to 50, it gives us the account of what happened to this Goliath. And it says, Then said David unto the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defiled. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee. And I will give the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a slingshot and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. And the account continues to say that David took the sword of Goliath and cut off his head. He was slain, and he was executed with his own sword. Imagine that. We have been speaking about being called to conflict, and one of the points were that we were called to collaborate. And David here is collaborating with God. God has brought him into the place where he can fight with him. The Holy Spirit and David fought this battle. David was used to shoot the stone against Goliath, and the Holy Spirit intervened and made that stone as a boulder that would take out Goliath, who was a giant. God is not looking for you to be perfect. He is looking for people he can choose to assign to conquer, be it land, be it territory, be it any given assignment. God is just looking to choose you for that assignment. He is looking to choose you to conquer, but you need to be here for it all. You need to be here for the little victories. You need to be here for the big victories. You need to be here even when it looks uncertain, but you need to be able to stand and declare that God will give you the victory. Do not back down now when things look hard. Do not back down when it looks insurmountable. Do not back down when you feel like you are so close. This is not time for breakdown. Instead, this is time for breakthrough. God is calling you to break through because he has chosen you to conquer. Be here for it all, in the good times and the bad. Stand in truth and stand and know that God is fighting for you and he is fighting with you. But he is looking for collaboration. He is waiting for you to be here for it all. You were chosen to conquer. Go forth and conquer. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.